What if you fail to manifest? There is no failure, only feedback. We've all been there. You've poured your heart and soul into a manifestation. You visualized, you affirmed, you took inspired action. You felt it was coming. Then it didn't. The dream job went to someone else. The relationship ended. The financial goal slipped through your fingers. The health challenge persisted. And in that moment, a crushing weight descends. The word screams in your mind. Failure. This feeling is devastating. It leads to self-blame. I'm not good enough. It leads to doubt. Manifestation doesn't work for me. It leads to disappointment so profound that you might feel like giving up on your dreams, on your spiritual practices, on the entire idea of conscious creation. You interpret this failure as undeniable proof that you lack something, that you're doing it wrong, or that the universe simply isn't listening. But what if I told you that failure, in the context of manifestation, is a complete illusion? What if it's a concept manufactured by our conditioned minds and egos and holds absolutely no truth in the grand scheme of creation? What if there's no such thing as failure in the universe, only continuous, invaluable feedback? That's right. This truth will fundamentally change your relationship with outcomes, eliminate self-blame, and accelerate your manifestation journey like never before. In this video, I'm going to dismantle the myth of failure, reveal what's really happening when your desires don't appear as expected, and show you how to leverage every single outcome as powerful feedback to effortlessly recalibrate and create the reality you truly desire. Get ready to release the heaviest burden you carry on your manifesting path. The big failure lie. It's a human label, not a universal truth. The illusion of failure. Why the universe doesn't judge. First, let's revisit a core truth. You are the universe. If you are the unified consciousness, the ultimate creator, and everything is a reflection of you, then what exactly is failing? Who is failing? And who is judging it as a failure? When you look in a mirror and see a frown, does the mirror fail to reflect a smile? No, it's simply showing you what you are projecting. The frown is not the mirror's failure. It's accurate feedback on your current expression. Let's look at a chef. He or she tries a new recipe. The first attempt is too salty. Did the chef fail? No, the dish simply provided feedback. Needs less salt next time. It's information for improvement, not a personal failing. Take a GPS system. You enter a destination, and the GPS directs you. If a road is closed, the GPS doesn't fail. It reroutes, recalculates, and provides a new path. It's intelligent feedback, guiding you. A person looking in a mirror, their expression shifting from frowning to smiling as they adjust. A chef tasting a dish, then adding a subtle ingredient with a look of understanding. A GPS rerouting on a map. The universe being a perfect mirror and an infinitely intelligent system, which, by the way, you are, does not judge outcomes as success or failure. It simply reflects back your dominant vibration, your core beliefs, and any underlying resistance you might be holding. As my coach Gavin stated, there is no failure because everything is you. Every failure is a reflection of a resistance or belief you have. There's no such thing as failure to the universe, only feedback. This means that what you perceive as failure is the universe, which is you, giving you absolutely precise, accurate feedback on what needs to be recalibrated within your consciousness. It's a diagnostic tool, not a judgment. So why do we label outcomes as failure? The conditioning, our beliefs. Why do we attach such a heavy, devastating label to mere feedback? Take societal conditioning as example. We grow up in systems, school, sports, work, that heavily categorize outcomes as success or failure. This creates a deep-seated fear of failing and a strong attachment to succeeding by external metrics. Ego attachment. Our ego often ties our self-worth directly to external outcomes. If a manifestation doesn't appear, the ego interprets it as a personal flaw, a sign of inadequacy, rather than just information, which connects to our perception of true worth. We develop fear of disappointment, judgment. The fear of feeling bad or being judged by others, or ourselves, for not achieving a desired outcome pushes us to label it as a placensis, devastating failure. The misunderstanding of the creative process. We often think manifestation is a one-shot deal, like pushing a button and either it works or it doesn't. We don't understand it as a continuous, dynamic process of unfolding and calibration. The scarcity, lack mindset. If we believe resources are limited, not enough for me, something feels like a permanent, irreversible loss, rather than a temporary energetic misalignment. The harm of labeling outcomes as failure in manifestation. This labeling is deeply damaging to your manifestation journey, leads to self-blame, shame. It fosters feelings of inadequacy and unworthiness, undermining your confidence and true worth. It creates immense energetic resistance. The emotional pain of failure creates a huge energetic block, making it harder to try again or to allow desired outcomes. It causes abandonment of dreams. Many people give up on their biggest dreams, convinced they're not meant to be, or that they simply can't do it. Prevents learning, growth. When you label something as failure, you shut down the opportunity to analyze, understand, and learn from the feedback it provides. The belief of scarcity perpetuates the illusion of powerlessness. It reinforces the idea that external outcomes control your inner state, rather than your inner state creating your outer outcomes. The true mechanism of manifestation is embracing feedback and course correction. If there's no failure but only feedback, what is the true mechanism for navigating undesired outcomes? It's about consciously embracing every outcome as valuable information for precise recalibration. Understanding objective observation is when an outcome doesn't match your desire. First, you must detach from the emotional charge. Let's view it objectively as data input into ChatGPT. What happened? Perform an internal inquiry. Instead of blaming yourself for failure, ask yourself, what belief, what hidden resistance, what energetic misalignment am I holding that created this reflection? This is where the true learning happens. Did I have underlying doubt? Truly speaking, doubt is a myth. Now ask yourself, was I trying to control the how too much? Was I feeling unworthy? Was I still focused on letting go of the desire itself instead of the resistance stopping it from happening? Was I affirming separation by testing the universe? What is conscious calibration? Once you identify the belief or resistance, consciously choose a new belief, then release the resistance about it, or shift your energetic alignment. This is course correction. Now we move into inspired reaction. From this new, aligned state, take any new inspired actions that feel effortless and joyful, knowing you are recalibrated for success. Picture you looking at a blueprint with a magnifying glass, making precise adjustments. Then, the blueprint transforming into a perfect, effortlessly built structure. This is not about trying harder. It's about becoming a master self-observer and a conscious calibrator of your own energy and beliefs. Every single outcome, whether desired or undesired, is a perfect reflection, an invaluable piece of feedback, helping you fine-tune your creative power. We move into addressing your burning questions. You say, but it feels like failure when I don't get what I want. How do I just switch off that feeling? The feeling of failure comes from the label you attach to the outcome and the underlying beliefs that cause that label. You don't switch off the feeling by force. You dissolve the belief and label of failure. As you shift your understanding and accept the feedback, the emotional sting lessens and curiosity, rather than despair, takes over. You ask, So if something doesn't work out, I just keep doing the same thing? Absolutely not. This is the key. Doing the same thing expecting a different outcome is insanity. The feedback is precisely why you don't keep doing the same thing. As you get the feedback, you identify the underlying belief, resistance. You shift that belief, resistance, and then you re-engage. It's about calibration, alignment, not blind repetition. So, what about really devastating events, like losing a loved one or a catastrophic illness? Are those also just feedback? This is a challenging but profound truth. From the highest spiritual perspective, even the most painful events are reflections of collective or individual consciousness, offering profound lessons and opportunities for growth, healing, and deeper understanding. It doesn't diminish the pain, but it offers a path to finding meaning and transformation, rather than labeling it as a random, meaningless failure of the universe, God, or self. Good, bad, or fake? Practical steps to reframe failure as feedback. Ready to transform your perceived failures into powerful learning opportunities and accelerate your manifestation? Here's how. 1. Abolish the word failure from your manifestation vocabulary. Practice. Every time you hear or think failure in relation to manifestation, consciously replace it with feedback, information, calibration point, or a learning opportunity. Why? Because it changes your internal programming and emotional response. 2. Cultivate an observer mindset. Practice. When an undesired outcome appears, step back emotionally. 3. View it as a scientist, observing data. Interesting. This is what happened. Why? It detaches you from egoic judgment and allows for clear analysis. Ask, what am I believing? Resisting. Practice. This is the most crucial step. Journal, meditate, or simply ask yourself, what belief did I hold that led to this outcome? What resistance was still present? What am I still needing to let go of? Why? Because it pinpoints the energetic misalignment for precise calibration. 4. Take inspired, calibrated action. Practice. Once you've identified the underlying belief, resistance, and shifted it, allow inspired action to emerge. This might be a new visualization, an affirmation, or a physical step that now feels aligned. Why? This is the effective response to feedback, not quitting, but adjusting and re-engaging. 5. Celebrate all outcomes as learning. Practice. Even if it wasn't the desired outcome, acknowledge the feedback received. Thank the universe, which is you, for the clear information. Start to see every experience as a step forward in your mastery. Why? Because it reinforces growth mindset and appreciation for the process. 6. Reaffirm your true worth. Practice. Remind yourself consistently, my worth is inherent and unconditional. It is never dependent on external outcomes or what appears in my reality. I am always a magnificent creator. Why? It protects you from the self-blame that failure often triggers. The ultimate liberation. In the master creator's journey, there is no failure in the grand design of the universe, only endless expression and connection. Want more? See comments.